We finally got another look at Metroid Prime 4 Beyond in that recent Nintendo Direct, and as it still wasn't the trailer that I was necessarily looking for, like that big bombastic thing that makes you say, oh, I absolutely need this game, it still showed off something that I thought was undoubtedly pretty cool. Like, I thought I was going to get on the internet afterwards and just see nothing but people talking good about it, but apparently not. I know it's Twitter, so like, you can't really take anything on that app seriously, but people are really kind of dogging and sleeping on this game. Not even on Twitter, but just online in general. People are saying it looks like a GameCube game or Xbox 360 game. The open world looks boring and just empty, and then the whole motorcycle gameplay is just gimmicky and doesn't even match Metroid Prime's formula. Am I on a different planet or something? People have been asking for this game to show something different with Metroid Prime. Do something different, you know, show something interesting about this game to really pull people in. And in my opinion, it's this. I love and completely enjoy Metroid Primes 1 through 3, but at the same time, they all are very, very much the same. They have different beams and some slightly different abilities for Samus, but for the most part, they all play and work in the same way. And one thing I was definitely hoping for Prime 4 was some type of completely new gameplay mechanic. And personally, I was really wanting some of her gameplay mechanics from the 2D games, like from Dread and Samus Returns. Like, for instance, seeing that counter move would be really cool, and even being able to perform it ourselves would be awesome, especially if you're playing with motion controls. You could just... The first complaint I keep seeing is that people are upset with the graphics, once again saying that it looks like a 360, a Wii, or even a GameCube game, and I genuinely don't know what they're talking about. It looks really, really good. Like, it's honestly one of the best looking Switch games I've seen, one of the best looking Nintendo games that I've seen so far. Like, my god, have you not watched the intro scene in that Nintendo Treehouse to show the beginning cutscene? Like, Nintendo games don't look this good. I think that's the thing too. People are expecting PS5 level graphics for a Metroid Prime game where we never were gonna get that. Like, that's never what the Switch 2 was capable of doing. It is still a portable home console hybrid, and we gotta get used to that. It's very powerful compared to the original Switch, but not a PS5 or a PC. People are expecting this. I don't want this. It's still about having a good art style and art direction that matches the Metroid series, and I feel like it does that exceptionally well while also looking really good for a Switch 2 game. Another complaint I'm seeing is that this giant sand world is way too open with just nothing in it. It looks so barren, and I can understand that complaint, but when you really look at it, it doesn't seem like it's going to be some type of open world game at all. If anything, it seems like maybe it's like a hub world of some sort. You can see lots of the regions in the background in far distant areas, so maybe this is just how we reach those different regions. Some people don't like that, but I don't see there being a big issue with this. It does kind of mess up the interconnectivity of the entire world, but still, I once again would not mind a giant open world to mess around in as a hub world that leads to these sectioned off areas that are more linear. I'm tired of the stigma that open world sucks as well. Like, it shows ambition to me, if anything, and maybe it's because Nintendo's ruined it. Throughout the trailer, we can already see that there's going to be combat and enemy spawns and stuff while you're in this open sand area until you reach the next areas, which does keep it entertaining. Which leads me to the next complaint that I'm saying. People seriously don't like the motorcycle? Are you freaking kidding me? I'm starting to come under the assumption that people just hate fun, because this is just freaking peak. Being able to ride a motorcycle, being able to fight on the motorcycle and hop off in order to continue the first-person journey, like... what a part of this is bad? If anything, a lot of the scenes make it look like it's a replacement for the elevators. You know how they show Samus raising or lowering all up close? Like, look at the scene of them zoomed up on Samus's motorcycle. It seems like it is like one of those elevator cutscene things. So maybe this is like the new replacement where you're actually traveling to your destination instead of just jumping in an elevator and watching a cutscene. And I love that. That is improvement of the series. I don't know how people think that's a downgrade. Now, this is different for me though, because I'm excited as a Metroid fan, and not just a Prime fan, as someone who's played every game in the series. Now, I can see there being a lot of people out there that are a little thrown back by this still and maybe not on board, because there's a lot of reasons why they could be feeling that way. Nintendo is not marketing this game well at all, in my opinion. I feel like they're kind of just giving us little snippets and clips every single Nintendo Direct that doesn't really add up to a whole lot. Like, in this trailer, I thought we were going to get a lot, and it just kind of ended before it even began. I felt like they showed a motorcycle, a couple clips of Samus fighting some things, and then it was over. I'm like, dude, every trailer we've gotten of this game has been so incredibly small so far. However, it makes sense now finding out that the game isn't even coming out until the beginning of December, so they have a lot of time to market this thing, and I'm sure they're going to even have their own Metroid Prime 4 Direct. Well, I at least really hope so, but from what we've seen so far, I can see why someone that's not used to the series or just a complete newcomer might not be that interested in this game. I mean, this was literally the last trailer we got before the recent Direct, where they showed us that we can open doors.
These powers allow Samus to operate mechanisms and open doors.
Well, golly gee, consider me sold. It also blows my mind that Nintendo is insisting to not re-release Primes 2 and 3. When they just did Prime 1, everyone absolutely loved it, said it's one of the best looking and best running games on Nintendo Switch 1, which is a game that came out on the GameCube so long ago. How in the world did they decide to just skip 2 and 3? Now, it may not mean much, and I will tell you right now, you don't really necessarily need to know the story of Primes 1, 2, and 3 to enjoy 4, because they're there, but they're not anything that's going to hinder your gameplay whatsoever. But even with that said, I know there's going to be people out there that's thrown off by this and want to play 1, 2, and 3 before you jump into number 4. I mean, it feels like that's how everything works, you know? A lot of people told me to jump into Uncharted 4, but no, I was like, I feel like I have to play 1, 2, and 3, no matter what the story was. Like, I have to experience the older games first, because it's 4. How do I just jump into 4? And I promise you, this is going to be something that throws a lot of people off. And you may not think so, but I've seen comments of people saying this already, that they were looking forward to maybe playing 2 and 3 and really enjoyed 1. So it's strange to me why Nintendo is not doing this. So maybe they'd throw it on the Switch Online in some capacity, or maybe there's still another time period where maybe in October or November where they say, hey, here's a shadow drop of 2 and 3 for some reason. But yeah, it just kind of sucks when we just had Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 get a collection pack, but why couldn't they do the same thing with Prime, with 2 and 3? And charge it $70. So no, I don't think Prime 4 looks bad at all. I don't think there's any part of the game that's made me say, ew, this isn't the Prime that I've known and loved. There's new improvements, and of course the same gameplay that we've known and loved. But at the same time, they need to show more. I would love to see some of those new psychic abilities in action doing more things than
open doors.
And I feel like what we really needed in that direct was just a big, juicy, meaty trailer. That's all they had to give us. You know, those last Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom trailers, the ones that are like 3-4 minutes long, showing you bits of lore and story, and also showing combat and the world around you and the characters and the villains and enemies and bosses. That's what we want to see from Metroid Prime 4. It's just funny that instead of announcing a Metroid Prime 4 direct, they said, hey, Sakurai, you're doing yours again. And that's the only thing that worries me. I feel like Nintendo isn't making Metroid Prime 4 a priority, because it's a Switch 1 game still, but also a Switch 2 game, but something that's not super massive for them this year. Which is very strange to me, because I feel like if anything, this is their biggest upcoming game that they have. Nothing else in the entire slate for next year, or even the rest of this year, in my opinion, is as big as a brand new Metroid Prime game. Maybe you feel differently, but that's just how I feel. So hopefully Nintendo picks up on the marketing and stuff, but yeah, stop doom posting about Metroid Prime 4. It's a great looking game, it just needs to be shown off in a better way, have better marketing, and just give us more information about this game, which I'm sure will come soon. We still have more time to wait, since it is a December game. But hey, in just about 2.5 months, we're all going to be able to play as Samus once again
and open doors.